It wasn't an easy game. We haven't played together as a team since last year because we had some of the players that played at Kosafa, but not all of them. So it was very important to get some minutes under the belt. It was also important because many of these players, except for Linda and Hilda, have not played any league football, and we needed to give them as much minutes as we could. Also to get that synergy back and that energy back. We worked a lot on our final third entries, and we had a lot. Maybe the ball into the final third, maybe the run, maybe the finish, not taking the chances, because we had a couple of chances that could have finished the game. They had one running from deep, and we knew that was going to happen, but we didn't deal with it well in the first half. I think in the second half we were much better organized in terms of that. We knew that the striker was going to drop. We knew that, but as I said, we didn't track the runner. I think in the midfield we wanted to play a bit quicker, because the minute we played quicker and we played our combination play, I thought we got out really good. But the heat, I think, was also a factor for many, because the game slowed down. We wanted to keep the tempo up at times, but unfortunately, it didn't happen. But happy with the result, but I think we can still improve on the performance. Obviously, we will look at what we're going to do for the second game, because we want to utilize these games to not just to play players, but we also want to utilize this game to work on certain things. As I said, we worked on final third entries mostly, and we saw a lot of that. Now it's about getting into the box and finishing those chances, because we're a team that's going to create, and I think if you look over the past matches that we've played, if we had put a lot of the chances away, we probably would win more games. So we concentrated on that a lot just for this, and it's a process, because it's not going to happen overnight. But if you could see the progress in the final third, that is what we worked on.
And coach, maybe just to get it out of the way, Bambanani reaching 100.
I think Bamba could have probably reached 100 sooner. Had a couple of injuries, but has come back stronger. True professional. Someone you can rely on, never let you down. He's a mentor to the younger players as well, because they know they're not going to play forever, and it's so well deserved. The 12th player in Banyana, and I think the others that have come before deserved it as well. She joins the Centurions, and I'm very happy for her, and long may it continue, because she's shown once again that she's a top player.
Yes, sir. I got maybe just to stay at the point my colleague alluded to, playing against such a European experience. I mean, West Ham, Marseille, and standing the ground and picking up a win. How much confidence does it give you about the near future, the stability of WAFCON on the horizon? And also, do you believe maybe they deserve to play the same level? Because the coach also does mention that there's a lot of talent in it.
I think the coach is undermining their quality. I think at WAFCON, they didn't concede a goal in open play. They lost to Ghana on penalties. So it says the quality that they have. And we've played a lot of West African teams that are very physical, they play the long ball, they play off the second ball. Last year we played a Northern African team, Morocco, which is similar to them. Also like to keep the ball, their movement is good, very organized, very difficult to break down. So we needed something different to what we used to. Yes, they started playing the long ball, and especially in the first half we struggled a bit, but then making sure that we picked the second ball up. I felt when we won the ball, we didn't play forward enough. We went backwards, and we spoke about also going forward. So I think the coach is just being modest, but they are a very good side, and it was very important that we get a good team to play against that will challenge us for the future.
So, Coach, can we trust someone like Majiya? I mean, she looks so busy and then scored a wonderful goal. Is someone that we can trust? Maybe whenever you don't have 10 million, she can plug in the ball, she can run all the channel. And then any latest with the captain injury of Andy, I mean, how bad it is here?
Majiya, we took her to WAFCON in 2022, scored a goal, and then from then on, I don't think she developed as we wanted her to, but over the last year and a half, I must give credit to Coach Godfrey. He's done a lot of work with her. We've been in conversation with her. He's done a lot of work with her. She's gotten better. It's a working process. Majiya's 21. We forget that she's 21. So we'll continue working with her, because she's definitely has talent. along with Tori, who's 17, Bonolo's 18. These are players that we will consistently work with. Until his injury, we didn't want to take any risk. It's a head injury. She didn't feel okay, but she felt she could continue, but it's a friendly, so we didn't want to take any risk because we know with concussions you have to be very, very careful. So I haven't spoken to the doctors yet. They will obviously test her afterwards and see, but she should be okay.
Any more questions, yes, sir?
Coach, you also want to play two teams. One is yesterday, maybe on Friday is going to play differently. Are you really wait what you saw, and are you going to give more other chances in that second game? And also, Kev is talking about.
Let's hold on first question, sir. We'll come back to that.
Okay.
Look, you want to make changes, but you're not just going to make nilly-willy changes. You still want the structure, you still want the balance there, you still want some experience on the pitch, because you can't just throw the youngsters in at the deep end. I think that we're just sending them to lambs to slaughter. So we will see how we can refresh the squad, because that's what it's about. The league hasn't started, so we're going to see how we can manage that, because the games come thick and fast. It's a recovery, match day -1, and then you play. So we will see how we can put a competitive team on the field, but also give others an opportunity.
Second question, sir.
Okay. Kev is talking about having women coaches for women national team all over Africa. What do you feel about that?
Look, we mustn't be drawn into. Kev is saying that there must be a women's coach on the bench as well. Kev is not saying that there mustn't be male coaches. I think we mustn't forget the males have played a huge role in where we are today. I had male coaches, and some clubs still have male coaches. We mustn't forget the part that they've played. We must not forget that. Our federation took a stand to have female coaches for the women's national teams, and that is what our federation has done and given us the support. But they might not be qualified in other countries. But now the onus is on them to do that, because COSAFA always used to say that the head coach of the COSAFA team must be a female. Then what would happen is the head coach, who's a male, would sit as an assistant, and the other one would be that. But FIFA has decided to help with the growth, to help with the development, to give the women an opportunity. And it's now up to the federations to take charge of that, and not just put them there and let them swim, but put them there and support them and assist them where they can, because if we don't get the support, we will fail, and that's the first thing they'll say. That's the first thing they'll say. But people are brave, and I think it's by time, because there was not so long ago, there was something like this where you needed to have a certain license, because SAFA has brought it in. And that's the only way you're going to develop women coaches, if they get given the opportunity and the support.
Any more questions? No? Thank you guys. Thank you everyone. Thanks.